Hello friends, this is Wendy. I am a paper crafter, a scrapbooker, a junk journaler, and today I'm going to be an ornament maker. And you're going to say, hey Wendy, the holidays are over. I mean, Christmas is over. You know, you're either way early or way late on this ornament wagon, right? Well, who says ornaments have to just be for Christmas? And these are going to be more like tag ornaments, you know, definitely in the paper family, you know, paper crafting. I took down so first I have a really large fireplace mantle. It's very mid-century modern. Our house is made in, it was born in 1960. And anyway, very mid-century modern. I took down my Christmas decorations. So I have this big garland across my mantle. And, it's a good 8 feet or more. Anyway, and that's where I hang my Christmas ornaments. As I was taking them down this year, I thought, this mantle looks so naked. And I have another garland, and it is silk, but it's eucalyptus. And it's also got some olive branches, mainly the leaves with the olives on them, because that signifies a brighter tomorrow. I don't know, I heard that a couple of years ago, and I was like, I have to have that. I have to have a vision of a brighter tomorrow, right? And this year I was like, there's something seriously missing. And so I did buy some cotton. So I bought these. Some are in a cluster, and many of them are like this. And I'm going to, it hasn't come yet, but they have these little alligator clips, and you can put these into the alligator clips and then clip it onto either a garland or a tree or a wreath or something. So I have the garland, I have the olive branches, leaves, I have the cotton, and it's looking better, but I feel like I need something dangling from it, right? So I want to make ornaments. I pulled this up off of Pinterest. This is by Emma Williams. She is one of Tim Holtz makers. This is on Pinterest. And then it sends you to a link on Sizzix.com. This is from 2020. So this is 4 years old. But I'm going to follow a lot of her steps. I just love this. It's beautiful. And so I'm going to follow her steps as best I can. I don't necessarily have all of the products that she used, but I do have this wreath. I have those flowers. I don't know that I want to use those flowers. I want to put some hearts. I want this to be a springtime garden kind of a vibe. The first holiday that's coming up now would be Valentine's Day. I was thinking, that would be kind of pretty to have some flowers, some leaves. I love anything that has to do with bees. So having the bee hexagons on there. Anyway, so we're going to get started. And it's going to go on, for me, it's going to go on a tag. And I'll show you. I was originally thinking about doing these, and then it was Stacy Hutchinson. She's also one of his makers. She did a tag, and she either cut it or tore it. And I was thinking, that gives me a little more real estate to put my design on. I don't mind if it kind of is falling off a little bit. It also gives me a place to hang it. And then I started thinking, hold on. Well, I got mail. And it had nothing to do with crafting, except I want to use this. And so I'm thinking, let's see if this one's big enough. I have a bigger box. I just didn't want to pull the whole big box up. But I was thinking I would cut the cardboard just like this. I'll just hand cut it. I'll draw it and hand cut it. And put my design on the cardboard, and then I'll rip my design and rip my cardboard so that there is some cardboard showing behind my watercolor paper, because that's what I'm starting out with. And yeah, So I'm going to follow her instructions here. She mentions all the materials that you need. And I may or may not have all of the materials. She wants to cut from the mixed media heavy stock. I do have that. So this is the mixed media heavy stock, and I am going to cut my tag from it. So I tore the bottom of it, and I may end up tearing it a little more. We'll see. Whoops. All right, so it says cut 2 panels. I've just cut one. Mixed media heavy stock. So apply old paper. Let me move this over. And she says to put it on the glass mat. So we'll follow her directions and see how it turns out. Okay, apply the paper distress ink, the old paper distressed ink, okay. Oh, I don't like doing it here because I can't see it. Okay. All right, and then it says to spritz it lightly. Okay, and now I'm going to take my card. Let me move this over a little bit. And I'm going to swipe it through the ink. I don't normally do this on a glass mat. I normally do it on my mixed media mat over there. I don't even know how clean my mat was because I'm picking up some other colors too, but that's okay. Well, I'm going to wipe this off. And then I'm going to try it again, doing it on my mat where I can see it. She did say to dry it in between layerings, so I will dry it in between layerings. I already did. And now I'm going to do this again. So it's sure not going to hurt it any. And now I can see it. So, yeah, I like this better. Although it definitely didn't hurt to have like a first layer where I kind of pulled it all the way through. And it doesn't bother me that I picked up some other colors, whatever was already on my glass mat. Okay. I always like it when it has these little, spots. I like spots. Let's go over here, see if I can pick up a few more spots. All right, I'm going to dry it. Okay, now she says to repeat the process with pumice stone. So we will repeat this process. Oh, there's a lot on pumice stone. I'm not going to put nearly so much on. Okay, this one I'm definitely going to do like dipping. I may have to dip it and then spritz it. Oh, I'm liking this though. I was thinking, I don't know, do I really want to do pumice stone? Should I maybe swap that out for a greener color? But then I looked at the picture again and the wreath is so green that maybe I do, want to do pumice stone. This is, it keeps moving. I keep pushing things out of the way. Let's see, am I getting all of that? Yeah. Now it's time to dry. All right, so the next step is to actually use this to make the hexagons for, first of all, she said, once you're happy with the color. I'm not happy with the color, and so I'm actually going to switch to watercolor paper. I think this is personal preference. I don't think there's anything wrong with this, and I definitely may use this as the honeycomb. Okay, so I don't hate this one, but I definitely like this one better. And it is clearly my personal preference to like the watercolor paper. I am going to now step away from something from hers, and I'm either going to put some ink on here and just sort of put it around. I think I'm going to put it on a platform. I'm going to ink it with the old paper. I'm hoping that this will make me the happiest. I would go into one of the greens, but I really want to keep this background neutral. But I also don't want it to be quite as white as it is. So I'm going to ink this. I kind of want to spritz it so that the design is a little more abstract. So I think I'm going to do that. Just give it a light spritz like that. And now I'm going to put it on top of this one. Is there a right or wrong to it? I don't think so. Of course I put it on crooked. I don't think that even matters. Yeah, it's very abstract. But it does, I think, improve the color of this. I might do a second time. I wonder if I should. I think I will. I think this time I won't spritz it. Okay. Even though you can't really see any design, it did get more of that kind of greenish ink on there. So, and now since I already have this one, since I'm going to turn this into the honeycomb, I want to give it a little different color. Right now, I'm just using the ink that is already on my blending tool. So that does make it more brownish. I'm going to go back to the photo. The background is definitely brown, and this is definitely ever so slightly darker. And I do think I want to put a little more vintage photo on there. So Emma suggests this one, the pattern repeat. And this one, I wonder if I went all the way down. Let's see how this is in comparison. And as you may already know, this one is definitely a favorite. I've practically used it up. I've used it so much. See how this will fit on here though. So I could put this here, and then I could put another one down here. I'm gonna try this one. I don't know. I don't know how well it will work. Well, I'm gonna tell you right off, I'm not happy with this. I'm not sure if I've ever used it. I had to have it because I love all things honeybees, but it is not. It is just ripping, completely ripping out. So the only part of it that's really salvaged is the inner part. So I'm going to need to make another background, and I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use the die that it's tried and true, that I know that I love the most, because that was very disappointing. Okay, so I've cut out a piece of watercolor paper. I just prefer watercolor paper. I want this to be just a little darker, a little browner, I guess, a little more golden, perhaps. I'm going to start with antique linen as my lightest instead of the old paper. So I'll speed this up. I decided to try something. We'll just see how this goes. You know, I can always throw this away, and you're going to say, man, this was a whole half hour watching you just make mistakes and throw them away. Well, sometimes that happens, you know. It's not really a mistake, it's learning, right? Even mistakes in life, they're all learning experiences. If you don't know what road not to go down, then you might make a similar mistake over and over and over again, right? So I'm going to shake it. And I'm going to give it a couple of, I think I'll give it 3 drops. We'll see, we'll see. Then I need to spread it out and pick up my brayer, because we're going to use this technique. There we go. Get it all on here. Probably don't need to do all of it. I also don't, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because it's really going to be more of an effect. It just needs to be an effect on this paper. Let's see how it goes. Okay, cross your fingers. Let's see if it goes well. It went well enough. Shall we call that good because it's just going to be an effect? I do have extra, and that's how I have my mixed media Monday. So I'm going to spritz this, and I'm going to spritz this, and I'm going to get another piece of paper, and I'm going to not waste it. Okay, so I am going to use tea dye on here. Let's see if I'm happier with that. I'm going to spritz it. And I'll do both of these because I could end up using both of these for my hexagons. Might as well pick up the rest of it with this. And I'll probably put some of that pumice stone on it just to give it that brownish gray. I'm going to do the pumice stone next, and then I will probably use vintage photo. All right, I added some squeezed lemonade to both of these, and also some pumice stone to kind of make it still go with this. Oh, and I almost, well, when I cut them out, which is going to be now, when I cut them out, if I don't like the color, then I will gently add some like vintage photo or something to them. So I can get one corner and two corners, and then I can probably get something in the middle. Okay, so let's see what this does. And I was actually able to kind of make it look like it was one sheet. Now, first of all, just deciding, do I want to add a darker color? And I do, and I'm going to add vintage photo. I've used vintage photo for honeycombs a lot. It's a good color to go with this. So let's see. So it's still neutral enough, I think. So I'm going to sort of cut around some of this, cut down off of that. Okay, so she says to use the Distress Collage medium that you can just brush on. So we're going to try that. I have had this jar for a few years now. I don't use it very often, but that press and seal does keep it really moist. As you can see, it's a really moist. It hasn't dried out at all. Let's see how well this goes down. I'm going to add a little bit up here. Okay, so her directions were to get craft paper and then to ink it. I decided to get a pretty color that I liked out of my stash because I have a ton of paper. Okay, this is the background wreath that's gonna go down first. And I'm going to color paper with bundled sage, peeled paint. I also pulled out the bundled sage oxide. She suggests also ice spruce, but I'm also gonna throw in, ta-da, ta-da, Yes, Rustic Wilderness. Because when she made this back in 2019, Rustic Wilderness didn't exist. How did we ever live without you? Oh, okay. So I'm going to ink. I did cut out the cardboard, and I'm definitely going to be inking that. And I also cut out a heart. This was from an item that was in my drawer. I remember this very well. It came from a layout, and I put something down and I hated it and I ripped it back up. So some of this is very, very thin, but it's also very pretty. Definitely gonna ink it. Oh, I should show you what I got. I got this little guy. It's not as good as the metal ones, but it'll work. Yeah. So I'm gonna ink with this. I wonder what I have on the blending tool already. See if it's enough to put a nice definite edge on this. My husband wanted me to add some red, since this is going to be something we're going to be looking at. It's an ornament that's going to go in our living room, on our mantle. So yeah, this probably wouldn't have been my #1 choice of pieces of paper, but I liked the color on it, so I will probably use this up some more. Another thing I wanted to do, I cannot help myself. I have to do this. I just feel like it needs it. I think I want to make it like that. Oh, it didn't show. Well, it did improve the color a little bit, so maybe. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, well, I tried. I do like that it gives a little bit of definition. I was hoping I would be able to see that better. So I want to treat this heart like it's a flower. Well-ish. I want to either maybe bloom. I saw a lot as I looked on Pinterest and also on Disney Scrappers. Tim Holtz Addicts. I saw blooms, leaves paired with this a lot. And there's this one. It's probably because it's got a nice curve. I would do this one. It does. It has a nice curve. But I also want to do like a flower with it. I don't think I would need those. I have lavender in my yard. I've mentioned that before. I love lavender. I would actually turn this so that, because normally when it cuts out, it would go this way. But I want it to go this way. Yeah, I think, so I'll cut one of these. And this is a colorized, so it has multiple pieces to it. And I'll cut this, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm basically gonna be taking these out of the paper. And I'm going to be inking and gluing and fixing any little itty bitty spot here like this. Let me show you, that didn't cut all the way. I guess I should have cut this on my, Tim Holtz calls it his precision cutting mat. It's made out of stainless steel, so I just call it my stainless steel mat. Oh, yes, I like that. So anyway, I will speed this up, and I'll be back. Let's see if this dried. I'm going to need to put, squish more in along the edges here. What I used for this was collage medium. It comes in a liquid form as well as the paste. And I have quite a bit of the liquid form, so I used that. So this comes from Bloom. It's just one of the leaves from Bloom. I'm going to just poke this in and then put a binder clip right on the edge. And on that edge there. Let's see, get a little more in here and put another binder clip on. This does, this is PVA glue and it does dry clear. Okay. So anyway, this was from Bloom. The lavender is from Wildflowers. That's his very first Wildflower one. This hexagon, the beehive, honeycomb, is from Mixed Media, and that's, I think it's one of his essentials, though. I think it's still out there. And I used two of the corners, and that's where I got some of these that are more chunky, because I used the corners, and that's the area in between the two corners. And then the heart is from Stacked Hearts. Both of the wreaths are from Funky Wreath. And that's the original. He just recently came out with another, I don't know if he's calling it Funky Wreath. It's a larger size wreath, and it's the same one as the green one, but it does not have the brown one on it. So, and again, it's a little larger. The little hearts, these three little ones, are from Falling Hearts. The box is from Amazon. And yeah, and I used distressed inks and distressed oxides. And as soon as this all dries, which should be soon, I'm going to put a ribbon in it, and then I will show you how it is. Well, my wreath is, my mantle garland is not really done because the cotton that I have on it is just literally sitting on top. Yeah, they're not dry yet. But if you don't mind having it look unfinished, I will attempt to show you what this looks like as it is hanging. Okay, here it is hanging up. Let me back out just a bit. I don't have the cotton balls hooked in yet, but I think it looks really pretty hanging there. So I had to run downstairs into the basement and find my Christmas hooks, you know, the regular ornament hooks, in order to get this on there. The ribbon is from Walmart. And anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I'm using my hands to hold my camera, so I can't do my thumbs. Hit that notification bell and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you have a glorious, magnificent day. Bye.